Right. Bit of a rematch this is going to be from the last time. We're gonna see how I do. Right? Ah shit, I accidentally. Okay, we're gonna see how I do. We're gonna see if I can fix this. This system that I completely broke last time. We're gonna see if this happens, right? After putting myself in a terrible mood last time and everything, I've just kind of dreaded having to do this, which means that I really should force it. I really should, right? I personally find that the times where you feel least like doing the thing that you should do are precisely the times where it is the most important that you do it anyway, because that's how you build a habit. So I am going to push myself here. Although, granted, I probably won't do it for as long if it's too painful. You don't want to build a bad association, right? So I'm gonna allow myself to not do it for very long, but I will definitely do it. And by it, I mean coding. Right, so give me just a second. And there we go. All right. So let's start by what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What? That makes no sense. What the hell is going on? Give me one sec. Wait. Yeah, the scene just decided to grab a completely random window for some reason. I do not understand. Why? Huh? Something sketchy. Fuck, okay, I'm gonna have to restart the program. What the hell, though? It just decided that a completely different window is the... Oh my god, are we really going to start with issues before I even put a single line of code down? Really? Fucking hell, man. It recognizes that that window is what it is. It's just outputting something completely different for some reason. And now it's just not finding the window. Okay, I'm gonna have to delete the source in OBS. What the fuck, man? Something is really weird here. Okay, I'm sorry, this is going to take a bit. Okay, there we go. Jesus, what the hell was up with that? That was weird. Automatic scene switcher, turn on, then do the thing. There we go. I don't know why the window was just refusing to show up. That was a weird thing to happen. Why am I getting a bunch of errors? I haven't even... Huh? was getting a bunch of errors last time, but that was literally only when I was clicking play and when I was playtesting the scene, not on the editor. There's only one script that can give errors in the editor, and that's because it's a tool script. But I hadn't modified that, and all the changes were changed, saved, and uploaded to GitHub properly. So what is going on? Did I go into a fugue state and start editing the code on my sleep after that whole experience? Just went in and started changing shit and now caused a bunch of errors? Or did it just somehow not save properly? I'm very much puzzled by this. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to fix that though. I mean, fuck, man. Touching the golden animator, just worst mistake I've ever made. Don't do it. Don't ever do it, guys. Even though I'm not even certain that that's who even is at fault right now. Fucking hell. Okay, let's see. What's the error? It's in the player scene, obviously, because I closed it and the error stopped printing. So, player scene, right? Is it outputting errors now? Yes, outputting a billion errors. Just so only guy who it could be is the things that I changed last time. So probably these guys have an invalid. Huh? Oh, it's probably trying to do the animation, right? So these guys have an invalid reference. That would be my guess. Anchor point, yes, unassigned. Anchor point unassigned, right? And it's probably because the animator is trying to assign him at some point. So if I just assign him manually, and then anchor point, yeah, okay, that's what's going on. So then it would have to be this guy, right? If I disable you, the error stops. Okay. Even though the error is not coming from this script, it is being caused by this script, right? As soon as I enable it, it completely goes down the drain. So what's happening? Right, it's trying to assign an anchor point and then it's erroring here because it's trying to assign a position that to an anchor point that doesn't correspond because these guys don't have a well-assigned anchor point. So if I assign it, main hand idle anchor point, it unassigns itself, right? And why is that? You are not on, right? Are you? No, you're not. Okay. The only thing it could be it's the animator. So like the animation is moving those anchor points when it shouldn't be, right? Changing them, reassigning them. And that could only be, I don't know, maybe reset? Like this? But then it would only affect the main hand, right? Let's remove every reference to anchor points in the animator. Just all references to anchor points. Yeah, and that should make it so that it stops breaking, right? I mean, it's still gonna throw errors because it is... Yeah, because they're not assigned. But now it should let me assign them, right? Yeah, okay, they're assignable now. Okay, so that was the issue. That was that issue. Offhand, little anchor point, right? So those anchor points are assigned, and then if I turn on this guy, then the hands are going to move, right? Then to the hold, right? It doesn't know the difference between the hold and the not hold because that was some functionality that didn't exist. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're going to stop. We're going to stop messing with trying to change node references in the animator. We're going to assume that that is not possible. Maybe it is possible to do it in a way that I haven't tried, but I've been trying to do this shit for long enough. It's just become a time sink, and that's not a good thing. So I'm going to instead do it the less elegant but still workable way, where the main hand and the offhand both have a reference to both anchor points at all times, and they just decide which one to follow based on a Boolean variable. And then that Boolean variable is changed in the animator, right? And that makes it so that I only have to change a bool in the animator, and that's easy. right? It does lose me the capability of having different anchor points, like more than two, in an easy way. But if I need that, I'll figure a way around it, right? So, main hand. Bigger. Main hand. It's going to need two references to anchor points. One to an idle anchor point, and one to a hold anchor point. Right? Then it's going to need a variable that is, it has to be public. So these are no references. So parameters, yeah, parameters, this works. This would be, what would it be? Because I don't want to call it held or not held, because that's not what it is. It's not the logic, it's not the internal logic of the hand on whether it's holding something or not, but rather the animation logic on whether it should be following the idle anchor point or the other one, right? So I mean, let's just give it a long ass variable name. Following held anchor point full, and then just a little note to myself: if false, then it's following the idle anchor point, right? That's just to remember, like that's the dichotomy here between the two things. Right. Oh. Right. And so then, right. So then we need that variable. So then we'll fix those errors later. But right now, follow anchor point, right? So here, you die. I don't need you. So then here in the follow anchor point, it's going to first check if we're following the held anchor point. Then do these two things relating to the held anchor point. Is it the hold anchor point? Yes, okay. So then we have to make sure that the names are consistent, so we're gonna call it the hold anchor point. Here, right? And so then, otherwise, if it's not following the hold anchor point, then it's following the idle anchor point, which means we take these two functions or these two instructions and just swap hold for idle, right? And then over here, just anchor point, set anchor point. Yeah, this function doesn't. Yeah, this function doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. We don't want it. Right, and now the editor hand positioner is going to be complaining. Well, that's fine, because we know why. So let's disable you for a little bit, so just so that you stop screaming, and then right. So then this guy needs to decide on whether to follow. Right, so whether it's going to follow the held anchor point or the other anchor point. So we just do it the same way that we were before. So if hold, then So define these two variables before so that they're usable after, so that they don't go out of scope. These are both of type marker 3D. Right, and then here, these two are anchors, but it's a difference of which one is the main and which one is the off. Like that, right? And then main hand, if hold, then it is hold anchor point. And for this one the same, which doesn't exist yet. I can remember to do that. And then otherwise, it's the idle anchor point, so like that. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so like that. So that works, right? So that's it for the main hand, and then the offhand is going to have something similar. So it's going to have a variable that I can change that is going to be variable following hold anchor point. Is that what I called it? I want them to have the same name. Hold it, yep, okay. And it's a bool type. And then we're going to need another variable that is another anchor point, but this one's going to be a idle anchor point, and this one's going to be a hold anchor point, right? So then I get to just do in the process, just do this. If following hold anchor point, then do this. Otherwise, do this. And then I just change this to hold anchor point, and these two to idle anchor point, right? And so yeah, so now we have a boolean that governs whether the thing is going to follow the hold anchor point or the idle anchor point, and that we can change through the animator, and by God, it shouldn't mess up because it's not a reference to something that is going to be outside the tree. It is just a boolean. You should be able to send the signal to something that it is false, right? I mean, okay, here's the thing that I imagine that the error probably is, right? I think that the error that I was coming across last time was that when you assign something in the, because like each instance of the world is gonna be different, right? When you assign something in the in the editor, right? It's going to have created different instances of like every node so that it can show it to you and you can play around with it. But then when it recreates the world for you to launch on the run, right? On the run window, right? It creates new instances of every node, right? And so when it does that, they end up having different IDs and different internal references. So the animator is working off of the ones that it had when you gave it to it, which are the ones from the editor. But then when the world is created, it's trying to assign references that exist, kind of, but only inside of it. So the animator node holds references that are no longer relevant, right? So I don't know how to fix that, if that is indeed the issue, which is not even something that I'm completely confident about. I just don't know what else it could be, right? But then it would make sense why I was getting all those messages that didn't quite seem to make sense, where the game is just saying, oh, there's a node that is not inside the tree that I'm trying to use, right? Like, of course it wouldn't be inside the tree because it only exists in the editor, right? That would be my guess as to what the issue is. But if so, that seems like a pretty silly oversight on the part of the creators of how this animation tree functions, because if that is the case, then they should just disallow, if that is how it works, then they should just disallow changing references through the animator in the first place, or make it so that the references don't break when you load the other thing, right? Like it seems like a thing that's just been kind of it seems like an oversight in how the thing functions, right? Granted, however, that I'm not using the latest version of Godot. Maybe it's been fixed. I don't know. I haven't used 4.5 much. But anyway, the point is that should be enough to make it work, right? Right, it's not working because I haven't assigned the references yet. So, yeah, so the idle anchor point is the main hand idle, and the hold is the main hand held. It should be hold. It for sure should be hold. Off hand idle, off hand hold. You didn't break, right? Yeah, no, it didn't. Okay, so then the offhand, the idle is the offhand idle, and the hold should be the offhand hold. And then now this should work. So see, now they properly follow the point that they should, right? But that's only in the editor. Then the other thing is that the animation tree has to... Hold on, I just noticed something. Just that animation key that was a little bit far to the left. So then, right. So then the whole idea would be that this hand hold should change, right, it changes the texture, and as you can see, it works. Does it though? Why are you not changing the texture? Hey, why are you not changing your texture? You should be having this texture, not that one. Oh, how crazy! What's going on here? Come to think of it, why is this? Oh, because this is not enabled. Right. Okay. So yeah, it was changing the data, it just wasn't changing the thing that I wanted to. Okay. And then if I put hold, what's hold? Okay. And so then the other thing that it should do is this handhold should also change a different parameter that should be... Hold on, are you throwing errors again? No! Okay, nice. So it should change another parameter, which should be the... On the main hand, the follow anchor point property. And in this case, you should make sure, insert a key here. Since this is the hold, then it should be on, right? And same thing for the offhand, add it here. Offhand. Hold anchor point, insert a key, make it on, right? You don't add those to reset, huh? No, I did. Okay. And then on the idle, the same thing, but they should be off. So main hand. Hold anchor point. Insert key on and offhand. Hold anchor point, insert key, on, right? And that's not gonna have an effect in the inspector really, but that's why I have this, so I can do this if I want to check them. Next I need to make these animations as short as they can be, just a single frame, so that they're not actual real animations. Then I'm gonna make sure that the animation tree is doing the thing that it should be doing. And transition between, because I did change it a bunch of times just to check, right? So yeah, you do this, you add that other one, since they don't really overlap on the parameters that they changed, then they should mix nicely. So you play one of these animations and the other at the same time, right? Okay, let's see if that does it, because fuck. Oh yeah, I forgot to do another thing. 1 second. Here, and then I go here. Like that. Okay. There you go. Okay. Okay, so the hand is just sort of staying in the same spot, not following where it should be. I seem to remember that I did something to that did that. So probably here. And transition request to the hand idle transition. So you are going to walk plus idle, nothing plus hold. Idle plus idle. No, it's not filtering, so that's not. Body walk, hand hold, hand idle. Shit, I remember that I did something that made that happen for the sake of testing, and I don't remember what it was. Damn. Is it the... Could it be the lerp strength? Yeah, the lerp strength. It shouldn't be 0. Yeah, none of these should be 0. Right, ignore how the squares just overlap. We're focusing on whether the hands go to the correct position. Right, so you can see on the white and black squares, you can see how those are the positions that they follow, the idle and the holding ones. Right, so they're not going to idle. They're not going to the idle position. Weird. Weird. So, if you're not going to the idle, are you changing this variable? Are these just kinda wrong in a way? Did the reset affect that? Shouldn't. Did the hand idle affect? No, the hand idle is what it should be. The hand hold is... Hold on, what? Right, the hand hold is true and the hand idle should be false. False and false. Did I set it wrong? No way, it changed itself, right? Right, so they follow the running position. They follow the and then they go back to idle. Yeah. Oh fuck! Finally works. Okay, let me just take away those little squares so that they don't look fuck ugly. I'll keep them on because they're useful to spot, but right. So you see the guy, he runs. He holds things over his head. And then he goes back to running, right? So this may look exactly the same as the last time I showed off animation on this project. However, the difference is that now it works with a single running animation and a single idle animation, right? This animation is the same regardless of whether the player is holding something or not, and then the holding or not holding action just gets applied on top of that. So there are two animations being put together to achieve this effect. And this makes it so that I don't have to make a holding an idle hand variant for every single other animation that I make, right? Which is very nice. Okay. So, since that's there, finally we get to move on with the animation, with adding more sprites and more things to the animation. Because that's what I wanted to do all day yesterday that I didn't get to, right? Hopefully it doesn't get as difficult now. Because goddamn, Let me see, where's my... I'm looking for this file right here. Can you see that? So there, this takes care of the, basically of these four right here. So it takes care of the idle, of the walk, not really of the run, but we can figure that one out. And of the hold and the walking hold, it takes care of these four, right? Which is actually a very small amount of them now that I look. God damn. Alright. Jay says, hola, hola, hey, what's up? Right. I want to... I want to do the stop now, because I'm pretty sure that that's a thing that I can just do given this animation system, right? Like, I'm pretty sure all I need to do is yeah, for the body, begin breaking, right? I want to add this, right, to the breaking animation. So when the movement handler reports that it has begun breaking, this guy is going to set the body animation state to break, and then it is going to go here. So then if the current body animation state is break, I'm walking to get tortas, so my signal is not great. Hey, that's fine. Immediately pinned you as Mexican purely because of the fact you said tortas. Happy to catch you live though. Yay! We here coding, trying to code. God, I mean, I don't know how well you can hear me if your signal is not great, but like, you weren't here last time, but like, Jesus Christ, I was having trouble with the coding last time. I was just going through it. I ended up I finished the stream really mad because I was trying to fix a thing that honestly I didn't even need to fix. Like, it was a problem that, like, it was my own stubbornness that kept me trying to. Because there are two types of problems, right? Like the ones that you need to fix and the ones that you can walk around, right? I should definitely walk around that one because it was kind of unfixable. Well, I'm maybe somebody who knew more than I could, but I was definitely spending way too much time and effort on something when it would have been way easier to go around it, which is what I did this time. But I got super frustrated. It was a thing. I was grumpy. I was very grumpy, but now I fixed it, kind of. Well, I didn't fix it. I went around it, right? So, okay, so yeah, we create a break animation, or we create a break name to assign to the animations, and then that is going to be passed to the transition tree. So then the animation tree can trigger, where is it? Yeah. The animation tree is going to be able to trigger another animation. Let's put this here, create more space, right? I go animation, create another one. And add it. This would be the. Right, it's here, it's in the inspector. So I go over here and add a new animation. This animation will be called. I get it. I tried to learn code, but I got too frustrated. It's a thing. It's I don't know, I really like coding, right? So I usually, okay, I was telling this to somebody else, right? I really like coding, but there's like, when you find like a big issue that you kind of spend a lot of trouble trying to fix, right? Usually there's like two types that I find in coding, and one of them is the more common one, which is like a gigantic ball of yarn that you have to unravel bit by bit, right? And those are the problems that I live for, because like it's fun, right? It's satisfying to just start picking at it and like isolate a little bit of the problem and then fixing that and seeing how it slowly gets better and better over time, right? Like that is annoying, right? Obviously, you would rather there weren't big problems, but like when that happens, it's satisfying to sort of start fixing it bit by bit and just seeing small amounts of progress just become more and more, right? To become better and better. But the problem that I was having last time was not like that. It was the other kind of problem where it's like a wall of steel, right? Where it's like, rather than a ball of yarn that you can just start unraveling bit by bit, it's like a gigantic fucking immovable thing that you keep trying different shit on and nothing works. Nothing works. Like with the other problems, you have little bits of progress that get you closer to your goal, right? With this, it feels like anything you do does nothing. Nothing works, nothing does anything, and if it does something, it only makes it worse, right? And those are the ones where it gets really frustrating for me, right? I need more of the other type of problems, but no, yeah, I can totally see why it would be frustrating. Like coding is not for everyone, you know. Okay, so the animation that I want to give it is, right, I haven't made it yet, so yeah, we have to do that. The animation that I want to work now is the one that uses, need a new one. This was going to be called body break. So for the, where's the body sprite anyway? This one, right? So this thing shouldn't be called Sprite 3D. That's just confusing. Because that's the body, right? Yeah, so I should call it that, just body sprite. Right, okay, good. And then yeah, so this body sprite, we want to give it a texture, and that is going to be not any of the, oh, there's 3 for the walk. Wait, okay, so I'm gonna have to edit that, but that's fine. So these are for the throw, for the run. Oh, they look so great. Okay, these are for the idle, right? That part's fine. Hold, grab, attack. Where's the break? Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. There it is. Right? So it goes like that, and right. And so what I wanted to do, what I want to do is just have it so that it scales up and down like in this weird way. So it should work the same as the body walk, right? That does this. That one scales the body sprite. Right? So then, yeah, so then they should do the same thing. So property track, body sprite, properties that in the transform, so it should be like way down here. Scale, right? And so this is just the normal size, and we're going to want like just like a really quick jitter so that it feels like it's just sort of sliding, dragging against the ground, right? So we're gonna insert a key here, just like around 1 second, or 0.1 second. Actually, it should be more than that. And then this one's going to be like a squash on the y-axis, but only a little bit, like that. And then we create like these two, just 0.2 seconds apart from each other, like that. And then they do like this. No, it should be way faster than that. It should be way faster. Then maybe 0.1 seconds, right? If I did this 0.2. Like that. Loop it, come on. No, faster, way faster. The whole animation should last like less than 0.1 second. 0.1, right? That. Yeah, like you can imagine this, but like living little dust particles. This is too quick, actually. 0. Let's make it 0.1. Yeah, this I like it's like you can imagine it, like it feels like friction a lot. But actually, you can't see it. What the? Why? Why do you do this to me? I don't really get why, but sometimes OBS just refuses to grab the gutter window, like it just freezes it. And it seems to be whenever I'm touching the animator. I'll get it. Okay, so yeah, this is a good animation. So now we need to account for the hand positions, right? And the way that we do that is just by using, not by moving the hands themselves, but by moving these anchors. And so we're going to do it like that. So where are the idle anchor? Right there, right there. Okay, so it's the position and rotation. So what's the reference picture that I had for this? It's open in file manager. There we go. Okay, so that's the reference. Right now we're working on this. Right. So you can see the artist, the animator, gave me this handy reference. Just put this little guy here so that we can see it, right? So the position and rotation of the hands should be at the main hand idle anchor point. Put it like the main hand anchor point rotation, right? And that's for the main hand. So we're going to add a key here, add a key here. And then we can just sort of move this. So like around here, and we want it to be positioned like further above, sort of like this. Right? To give the effect that the hands are sort of floating, I'm just gonna leave them hanging, like they're not gonna move along with the little jitter of the body. And then for the offhand, right, offhand idle, position and rotation. So yeah, again, same thing, just sort of they follow the reference. So this one goes like up here, like here, like here. And like rotate it just a little bit more, so it's like this. Like that. Right? And then we need to also account for the health position. So now if I change this hand position to hold, now I can see where the hands are going to be when they get put in that position. So put the hand hold here so that I can see the actual sprite that they're gonna be using. Body break, and then track those points. So hold anchor point position, hold anchor point rotation. Hey, there we go. And then add insert a key to each of them. And this I'm gonna have to eyeball it because I don't have a reference for this one, but that's fine because this is like an easy thing. So yeah, if you're braking, then you're just sort of bracing against it, right? So like you go like that, and your hands sort of go in the opposite direction, right? Like that's sort of what I wanted to do. So move them like here forward, like this, and then rotate it like this, right? That's just sort of the idea. Like it's sort of like this guy doesn't really have hips or a joint, but you still want to have like the illusion that he does, right? So it's like when if you stuck your butt out back, then you have to stick your upper body forward, otherwise you fall over, right? So like his little body and his feet are forward, and so his hands must be forward too. So it's like his little body is like his center of mass, right? So yeah, for the offhand the same, like idle anchor point. No, not the other. What the fuck did I do? No, not that. Yeah, for the offhand held anchor point position, and the same for the rotation. Here, right? And then insert a key. And I use those to adjust the thing. So it goes like here, a little bit down, rotate it like this way. And actually, this one should probably overlap a little bit with the first one. So like here. So that animation should work along with everything else. So if I go to the animation tree, assign that to this body break. I call it body break, and then place that here. Then that should allow the system to just pick that along with the rest, right? So then when I try to change direction, yeah, it lasts for a very short amount of time. But actually, if I grab the speed power up, not that one, this speed, this one, it's a longer break, right? Hell yeah! Okay, so the good thing about this is that not only does this animation work, the system now works, and I know that it works because I tried to add a new animation. I only had to do one animation for both types of hold and not hold, and it works for both, right? Like the hands know which position they should follow. I will admit the animation is not the best, but we can fix that later. I'm not an animator anyways. I really struggle with that kind of thing. It's why I kind of don't like it. I think that it could work though, this animation with like some particle effects. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is, because I just noticed that I have more frames for the walk animation, I want to use them now. So we're gonna go back to the walk, and we're going to incorporate those other frames to it. So body walk, right? So I have this. I want to, let's extend this to 0. I don't want to extend it to 0.12 or to 1.2 because that's, I already felt that that walk animation was too slow. So let's extend it to only 0.8 and then move everything to be like half the time that it is. So if this is 0.6, this should be like 0.4. Everything should be 0.4, shouldn't it? this. And then these should all move back. These are all at 0.1, so they should move back like to 0.5 or 0.2 or something like that. Like maybe here. How does it look on this? Right, and so the idea is now I copy most of those, but the texture changes here. Right at 0.4, we add a key, and this key changes the texture of the body to the other one. So assets, player, placeholder, PNG, walk to the other step. So that was left foot forward. They should be right foot forward. I bet that it froze just now. Yes, it did. Okay, good. So now I know the trigger for freezing. It's whenever it's importing, whenever Godot is importing assets, it seems to freeze on OBS. So now I know. Now I know to look for that. While I'm at it, this step should be not that picture because that's an old one. So we're going to load. Walk. This one. There's very little difference. It's actually very difficult to notice, but there is a difference. Right? Okay, so all of these sprites are placeholder anyway, but and then this, and so right here all of these should be copied, all of these parameters. So the scale here should be like immediately one frame after, right? So like all of this except for the texture, all of this, actually I should make it bigger. There you go. All of this, all of this, all of this, all of this, this, and even the landing is as well. All of that copied, then move on to here. Paste it here. So then it should manage to do the thing. And it kind of didn't. Well, what's up with that? What's with the scale of view? Oh, it's because it doesn't get to that point. Because it considers it to be outside the anime. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, I just copy all these and put them back, right? Do that. Right, okay, so it works, he just steps. One issue though, he should switch hands, right? Like right hand forward, left hand forward, right? Right now it's just the same one every time. Now, I could get the hand sprites to switch set. No, that's what I should do. That's what I should do actually. Never mind. I was going to do a little hack, but then I realized that's not gonna work. So this main hand hold, right? So these two should just sort of So switch. Okay. The idle ones, anyway. Yeah. So position. Copy this key. Paste it here. And it froze. Give it a second to crash. Wow, it's taking long to crash, huh? Program crashing. Hold up, please hold. I could just force quit it, right? But I'm afraid that may mess with some autosave stuff, so I'm just gonna leave it for a bit and see if it crashes. Godot really doesn't like it when you copy and paste animation keys, huh? I don't know why. It should be fine when they both contain the same type of data, and when they don't, they should just tell you rather than freak it out, right? Okay, it's really taking its sweet time. I'm gonna have to first quit it. How do I even first quit it, actually? I can't control delete on Linux. I know there's a way to force quit programs, but I always forget what it is. Geez. Okay. System manager. I think that's the guy that I'm looking for. HTOP. No, it's not HTOP. But actually, what does HTOP say? Actually, like, is it RAM usage? No, not really. My RAM is fine. Yeah, no, it just crashed. Just some bug or something. Right, system manager, system monitor, system. Is it system monitor? It's not the system monitor. What's the name of the program called? I always forget. Oh, it's process viewer, isn't it? Yeah, process viewer. Process. Wait, it's just called system monitor? Are you sure? Oh, yeah, I was on the wrong menu. Stupid. Bro, yeah, force quit and process. Just kill it. Just kill it, man. There you go, and now we start it up again. And hopefully we didn't lose much progress to that. If it's too devastating, I may just end the stream purely based on that. But in any case, the scripts always save. If anything didn't save, it would have been the animations, and that's fine. I can make those again. I'd rather not have to, but I can. Okay, the animation exists. It's fine, and right, and the walking animation, how is it? Okay, that's the bit that didn't save. Okay, good. I can just do that again. So this is 0.6 seconds long. Let's extend it to 0.8. Then we move all these points back to 0.4. Then move all of these back to 0.8. Move these a little bit back to like point whatever that is, 0.66. Create a copy of all of these to point right after that. So here. Yeah, it would have to be like that. So like this go to point right here. These go to 0.2 frames after. So like I put them here and then right there. Right. Right. And then right, and then I just gotta make sure to change the texture at the appropriate point. So this should have load me this sprite, and you load me this sprite, right? Right? Save, remember to save. Oh fuck, I'm stupid, I forgot to change the scene. Oh god damn it, I thought the automatic scene switcher was on. Oh fuck, oh god damn it, oh Jesus, oh god, oh fuck, oh god. There we go. Okay, here's what I did. Literally all I did was just recreate the same thing that I had done before. So you didn't miss anything, and there's no one here anyway, so it doesn't matter. Jesus. Professional streamer, everybody. I'm not actually professional. I wish I was. I wish I got money for this. I wish I could dedicate all my time, all my money to this. We get to just make games. Whatever. Yeah, so that's what we have. So yeah, that's this. What's the output? Who cares? Right? And then when the hands are moving, when the hands are idle, it'll look like this. Okay, so the issue is that the hands don't cross, right? So ideally I would want something like that. So let's do, so this should be really easy. I should just need to change the position of the left hand with the right hand and vice versa, right? So that shouldn't be difficult. I should just be able to create, to change, yeah, the idle position, change it to Would that even look good? Well, let's try it and see. This guy should have those numbers. So minus 79. Minus 291. And Z is just whatever. Then this one should have these positions, so minus 135, minus 1.035, 0.284, 0.284, and then this one should have those positions, but I think those positions are the same as this, right? Yeah, they're the same. Okay, so then this, just copy this. This actually. You copy this and paste it here. And the thing is 1. Yeah, okay. Right, so like that. And then we do the same the other way, so like the rotation should be the same as well, right? Shouldn't it? So this copy to here, so minus 29.6. This should be the same as this, so minus 95.1. And this should be the same as this one, so this goes like here. And then copy them the other way around. So this one, 0.816. 0.816, minus 268, minus 0.268, then this one becomes 1.001, 1.001. It doesn't matter that they're this precise, right? But I would like them to be 0.282, 0.282. I would rather be sure that they're symmetrical, right? And then this becomes this, and then the same for this one, so this has to become that one. 34.1, 34.1, 99.6, 99.6, and 34.1 again, so 34.1. And that should make it so that the hands just sort of switch places, right? Hell yeah. Oh, look at him. It looks so silly. I love it. Okay. So that's that. That's that animation. Then we have to handle it for when he's holding something, right? So when he's holding something, right? So right now this is what it looks like. Now I like that, and I don't want the hands to switch in this instance because it's holding something over its head, like they shouldn't be moving as much. So in this case, I'm going to have the hands just sort of move a little bit forward and a little bit backward, right? So it gives the impression that his body is tilting, but his hands are not switching all the way around. So then it should be something like, this is the position of them. And then these three positions should be shifted to the, no, but these are the whole one. So this one should be shifted. So these are always 0.331, right? So yeah, those are always the same horizontally, and then yeah. So these should be, rather than 0.331, they should be like here, 0.011, 0.011, 0.011, and then for the other hand, they should be shifted forward, so like this. So they should be minus 215, -215. -215. And that should make it so that the hands just sort of do that, right? Like he's tilting a little bit. Does that look good? It could look worse. Okay, let's see how that looks in action then. Right, there's one annoyance here. That is that one, the hands are moving in front of him. Another is that the walk cycle is just way too slow, isn't it? Like, it really should be, like, way quick. And the hands don't follow fast enough. The hands just don't follow fast enough. So we have to fix that. I think that I should probably at this point just make the lerp strength like a million, right? On both of them. That way they just follow the animations way more closely, right? Jesus, what the hell? Look at I didn't think that would do that. Right, because it's not a clamped lerp, so they just way overshoot. Although, to be fair, that's a style on its own, isn't it? Like, if I could make them more consistent, this would also have its own sort of look to it. But no, that's not what I'm trying. That's not what I'm going for right now. Jesus. Okay, the animations look good. I just wish they followed it more closely, right? So, I don't know. There's probably like a happy medium here, and just giving it like 50 lerp strength, and then they just, or 20 already would be good enough. And if that doesn't work, I'll just use the clamped lerp. Yeah, ignore the position of the grabbable because like it's just placed wherever. It's I have to add that point to the animations as well, but like look at this. Imagine this with like particle effects and stuff like that. Like this could actually look quite good. And then it also needs like the jumping animations. Those I just don't have them yet. Actually, what speed do you play these animations with? This animation should be way quick, right? So could I squeeze everything into 0.4 seconds? Just like... Or actually more than that, could I just play with at double speed? Because like having to edit the animation seems like a pain in the ass. So like, couldn't I just take the... Not the idle. The idle is nice how it is. Could I take this and give it like a speed control timescale? Yeah, timescale of 2. So when it plays double as fast, always. This guy looks so stupid. I know that. I mean, not in a bad way. in a good way, right? Like, I love how stupid he looks. Because he's supposed to look kind of dopey, doesn't he? I mean, just like my VTuber model. Like, look at him run. Look at the stupid way he swings his arms. My god. Uh, yeah, okay. So I want to make it so that he doesn't quite so harshly puts his hands on top of his face, right? Because that is creating a lot of visual noise that I'm not sure I find quite pleasant. Like the holding animation is fine for that, right? The walking animation looks like he's just kind of swimming, and it's the normal walking animation looks like he's just kind of swimming, right? Like this is, it's too much. The hands shouldn't cross over quite that much, should they? So let's take that. Let's see if we can edit that animation a little bit. So the body walk is currently like this, and positioner not holding animation player for the idle body walk, right? So but it's never going to look the same way that it looks in here, purely because of that lerp, because it's positioning the hands through interpolation. So rather than doing that, let's add functionality so that it doesn't always do that, right? Because sometimes I may want a lerp. I know that I sometimes want a lerp, particularly when it transitions from one to another holding mode, right? So let's make it so that it doesn't always, so that it can do a lerp, but it doesn't always, right? Let's add it as here. Also, I put these as parameters, but they are not actually parameters, not all of them. This one is not a parameter, it's a variable. So let's put it here, right? So let's create another export category. This one's going to be called variables, right? And this is for stuff that can change during runtime. There's not a thing that is meant to be set up beforehand and then be used later. It's a thing that is meant to be changed during runtime, like for example, through an animator, right? And this is just a debug. Let's actually give it its own category. Category. Debug, right? So we do this. Lerping, and this is the bolt, right? And so the idea is, if I need the hands to sort of lerp with a certain strength towards something, they will do that, but I can control when that happens and when their position is set more precisely, right? For now, yeah, so this follow anchor point. If let's create a new variable lerp strength, going to be a float, right? And then if we are lerping, then that lerp strength is going to be equal to, oh yeah, no, resulting lerp strength. No, not resulting, what's a better name? This is what is this? This is the lerp strength, not the one that is set as a parameter, but the one that we are going to use for the purposes of this particular function. So final lerp, result lerp, lerp result. I'm going to tell you what, I'm gonna be right back. Because, yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Gotta take a small break. Give me 1 second. I know, kind of out of nowhere, right? But to just, I gotta just realize something that's wrong. I gotta fix. See you in a bit. That was very sudden. Sorry about that. I just sort of noticed the issue, like it really needed to be fixed right now. Is a thing in the house. I'm not gonna bore you with the details. All right. So what we were doing, I was trying to get this lerp, this optional lerp functionality done, right? So this resulting lerp strength, if we are lerping, then this is going to be equal to delta times the set lerp strength, right? So same as we've been using right now, before. But if not, if we are not lerping, then instead we want to use a set number, which is going to be 1, right? The idea being that it's just going to snap to the end position without trying to just sort of slowly float away, right? So then the idea is that if animations need that to be set, or it needs to be set with a certain timing, we can just set that variable there. Which is why I export it, is because maybe I want animations to decide on that. However, for the time being, we're gonna leave it as always on. So main hand, lerping, always off, so that they always snap to position. And we're gonna see what happens with that. The off hand should have a similar thing. So yeah, so or actually, yeah, this resulting, yeah, this lerping variable, that's the one that we want, right? Yeah, so we're gonna add that to the offhand as well. Lerping is a type of bool, so then we have a variable called resulting lerp strength. I'm realizing that a lot of the functionality of the offhand is similar with the functionality of the main hand. So it feels like I should have made them a class that could derivate, that both of them could inherit from. So a class hand and a subclass that is main hand. But that's not what I did. Maybe I could change that if this code ends up growing, but I don't expect that I'll need to. Resulting lerp strength, that is a type float, and then if we are lerping, then resulting lerp strength equals delta times lerp strength. And if we are not lerping, then resulting lerp strength equals 1. And then both of these should use lerp strength or resulting lerp strength rather than try to calculate it themselves. Resulting lerp strength. There we go. And then this main hand, yeah, the same thing for these two. These two should use resulting lerp strength, not their own calculated lerp strength. So resulting lerp strength. There we go. So let's see what that looks like, if that breaks anything, because I'm not sure, I don't remember if that's the way it works, but I think maybe they whatchamacallit, I think maybe the grabbing behavior uses lerps to function. It doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't use that lerp. It does look super silly how he walks. Okay, this could probably be made slower, but there's something about it though that is not quite comfortable. Like maybe this shouldn't be 2, but maybe it should still be faster, like 1.2. Like, does that look better? I think maybe the issue is that it's not that it's moving too slow or too fast. I think the issue is that it doesn't change according to how fast it's going. Like it feels like it should, right? Could I do that? Hmm. But anyway, look at how good these animations look, right? I mean, damn. They look great now. It's lacking the grabbing animations and everything, so whenever I do that, it looks awkward. Also, when I jump, that also looks awkward, but that's just missing animations. It's not... Like, I just need to spend a day or two working on those, on creating those, right? Like, this break animation looks great, too. Like, imagine it kicking dust particles. It looks good. It looks good. I like how it looks. Yeah. I think the next thing I should do then is just work on making the rest of the animations, the ones that coordinate the hands and the body, right? Because of course the idea is when those happen, I'm gonna need to create to alter the system such that it allows for animations that are coordinated between the two that override both the hand animation and the body animation. But I've got ideas thought out of how that could be implemented. I think it shouldn't be difficult. Yeah. Just as a way to pick back up from last stream where I completely just died. just died. Just died. Just completely died due to stupid Godot idiosyncrasies. I'm gonna say that that's good enough for today. Shorter for the coding today, but I guess I just needed a pick me up. I just needed to not feel defeated after last time, right? So I'm gonna be right back. And when I'm back, I'm going to be playing video games instead. Yeah, let's relax for a little bit. All right, be right back.